Hi, my Bitcoin followers. The fundamental idea of crypto is maybe older than you think. So the question has to be asked, where did Bitcoin actually come from? Sit back, relax, because in this video, we are going through the history of Bitcoin from 2009 till today. Without further ado, let's begin. We can trace it back as far as 1982, that is when computer scientist David Chaum first proposed the concept of eCash. Already concerned with privacy in the digital realm, back in the early 80s, Chaum tried to put this idea, which would create a blind signature system, to practical use in 1990 by creating DigiCash. DigiCash was a company founded in Amsterdam designed as Bitcoin would be to create a safe, secure online currency. Then in 2008 came Bitcoin. In August of that year, Bitcoin.org was registered. 2 months later, a white paper was published. The idea behind Bitcoin was introduced to the world on October 31st, 2008, at the depth of the financial crisis, by a pseudonymous person called Satoshi Nakamoto, says Chetan Chawla, assistant professor of entrepreneurship at North Central College in Naperville, Illinois, who studies cryptocurrencies and blockchain. Bitcoin arose from a tiny group of cryptographers who are trying to solve the double spend problem facing digital money. Cash, held as a digital file, could easily be copied and then used multiple times. The problem is easily solved by financial institutions, which used a secure central ledger to record how much everyone has in their accounts. But the cryptographers wanted a solution that was more akin to physical cash, private, untraceable, and independent of third parties like the banks. Satoshi Nakamoto's solution was the Bitcoin blockchain, a cryptographically secured public ledger that records transactions anonymously and is capped as multiple copies on many different users' computers. The first narrative of Bitcoin's value was built into Nakamoto's original white paper. This claimed that Bitcoin would be superior to existing forms of electronic money such as credit cards, providing benefits like eliminating chargebacks to merchants and reducing transaction fees. But from an early stage, Nakamoto also marketed Bitcoin to a libertarian audience. He did so by stressing the absence of any central authority, and particularly Bitcoin's independence from both states and existing financial institutions. Nakamoto posted a message on a cryptography mailing list titled Bitcoin P2P eCash Paper. In it was a link to a white paper called Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Both of these are still available online. Bitcoin came to life when Nakamoto published his famous white paper on a cryptography mailing list describing a digital currency that would allow secure, peer-to-peer transactions without the involvement of any middleman, whether that be the government, financial system, or a company. These transactions would be tracked through a blockchain, a ledger like those used by any financial institution, except that this ledger would be distributed across an entire network with exact duplicates held by all participants and visible to all, secured by cryptographic means. There would never be more than 21 million bitcoins. In these papers, Nakamoto laid out the concept of Bitcoin as a decentralized digital currency. Being decentralized means there is no single administrator, but rather a public ledger of transactions that anyone can store on their computer, says Chris Marzalek, CEO of Crypto.com. Coins can be sent from user to user on the peer-to-peer Bitcoin network without the need for intermediaries. Bitcoin is open source, meaning its design is public. No one person owns or controls Bitcoin, and anyone can participate. While Satoshi continued to control Bitcoin's development, users and developers congregated in Bitcoin forums to contribute code and work on the project, which had become a collaborative effort. The users running the Bitcoin software were the ultimate authority. Many programmers and developers have written code for Bitcoin, but Gavin Anderson was one of the most enthusiastic. He reached out to Nakamoto in 2010 and became the founder's right-hand man. When Nakamoto withdrew from site, he left Bitcoin in Anderson's hand. Today, even Anderson himself has grown more reclusive. He no longer serves as core maintainer of Bitcoin's code. In fact, that role may soon become as decentralized as the cryptocurrency itself. Throughout the history of Bitcoin, efforts to unveil Nakamoto have continued unabated. Gossips in cryptocurrency forums have engaged in wild speculation. Nakamoto is a member of the Yakuza, part of a cabal of developers, a money launderer, or maybe even a woman. If you are enjoying the video, then make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more interesting videos about Bitcoin. The upshot is that Satoshi Nakamoto remains anonymous, a mythical creature with a Bitcoin stash of epic proportions. He has strong incentives to remain anonymous. Owning a 60 billion fortune makes personal security a compelling concern. Given Bitcoin's potential to challenge sovereign fiat currencies, Nakamoto could fear potential legal actions by governments, if not, other forms of government sanction. Unquestionably, efforts to uncover the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto will continue. The threat he poses to the cryptocurrency market is too great, and the mystery surrounding his identity is too compelling. In a world where anonymity is increasingly difficult to pursue, Satoshi Nakamoto has succeeded beyond imagination in keeping his secrets. Nakamoto created his cryptocurrency with the goal of wresting control of currency from financial elites and putting it in the hands of the common man. The first Bitcoin transaction occurred when Nakamoto sent 10 Bitcoins to Hal Finney, a well-known developer who had downloaded the Bitcoin software on its release date. In 2014, a reporter from Newsweek identified 70-year-old Dorian Nakamoto, a soft-spoken resident of Los Angeles, as Bitcoin's creator. While his long and distinguished career in engineering was cited as evidence, Nakamoto has vehemently denied any involvement with cryptocurrency. The day after Dorian Nakamoto released a public statement, Satoshi surfaced in an online forum. He posted, "I'm not Dorian Nakamoto," before vanishing once again. In 2012, Nakamoto claimed to be a 37-year-old male living in Japan. However, this is generally accepted to be a false statement, even though it has come from the proverbial horse's mouth. One of the biggest reasons why this claim is believed to be false is because of how comfortable Nakamoto seemed to be in the use of English language. Additionally, due to the usage of certain words in the early interactions with fellow developers, it is also accepted that Satoshi Nakamoto is likely British or someone from the Commonwealth. A reference to a Times headline in 2009 in the first Bitcoin block Nakamoto mined also points to Nakamoto being in England and not Japan. But this is not all. Some have suggested that Nakamoto is not one single person but rather a group of people. Among those who subscribe to this theory are Dan Kaminsky, a famed security researcher who suggested that Satoshi Nakamoto could either be a team of people or, quite simply, a genius who'd rather be left alone. There are currently 18,749,318.75 Bitcoins in existence. The number changes about every 10 minutes as new blocks are mined. There are currently 2,250,681.3 Bitcoins left to be mined. In fact, there are only 21 million Bitcoins that can be mined in total. Once miners have unlocked this number of Bitcoins, the supply will be exhausted. However, it's possible that Bitcoin's protocol will be changed to allow for a larger supply. So guys, let me know down in the comments section below. What are your thoughts about the history of Bitcoin? For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome and interesting videos related to Bitcoin. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.